Well, the queen of fantasy wizards isn't going away anytime soon. HBO has announced a 7-season series of the telling of the Harry Potter books by JK Rowling. JK Rowling has come under so much scrutiny from the online critic world. It's just gone off the rails. It's gone deep off the rails. You have critics stating and news outlets stating that the controversial figure of J.K. Rowling has been so controversial that it's transphobic, and that is where everything falls apart. Why you shouldn't give her a platform, why you shouldn't make her a series, why she shouldn't be creatively celebrated. Well, her tellings of Harry Potter was done in a fantasy world where things were fantastical. It was completely different. It was something that everyone could latch onto and actually enjoy the show. It doesn't matter that the kids are involved. It doesn't matter any of this. And when the online conversation continues to happen around J.K. Rowling, you can see people continuing to scream into the void. From The Independent, that's a very online conversation. HBO head shuts down J.K. Rowling question after Harry Potter series announcement. I don't think this is a forum, Casey Boyd told reporters. And it's not. It's not a place where it is. They're focused on making money and making a quality product. And they don't care what the online conversation is at HBO. They didn't care what it was with Game of Thrones, and they don't care what it is now. Game of Thrones got twisted and all at the end of it, it became a whole push for the ideologies again. And I think HBO has learned from that not to listen to the crowd that pushes these things. Max and HBO content head Casey Bloyds refused to answer a journalist's question about J.K. Rowling's involvement in newly announced Harry Potter TV series. Apparently, she's an executive producer. She signed on with it. On Wednesday, Warner Brothers announced the merger of Discovery Plus and HBO Max into the new streaming service Simply Max. With it, the whole new host of shows, many of them spin-offs, revealed, including an original Harry Potter scripted series. It expected to become a decade long, so they're looking up to 10 years. Not just the 7 seasons, but they're looking up to 10 years for this show. It's going to be telling, and it's going to stay true to the nature of the show. It expected to become a decade-long series with each season based on one of the 7 books, and will feature a new cast of actors. Obviously, you got to have the actors grow with the show. In a press release, the media conglomerate confirmed that Rowling would be involved to ensure the series remains loyal to her original material. So this is going to be like the new Game of Thrones. It's going to be Harry Potter instead of Game of Thrones. And it's not going to be so much of the nudie scenes that we saw in Game of Thrones. We're going to have actual kids going in there. We're going to grow with them. We're going to have my kid now being able to grow up watching this thing. It's going to be absolutely amazing. The controversial author has been subject to sustained backlash due to her stance on transgender issues, which some critics have characterized as transphobic. Some, not all critics, and including myself, where I sit there and go, she said she would walk beside you if you were being discriminated against. And that's not the issue that she's brought to light. The issue is the fact that some spaces are being completely opened up in the door and saying it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you are, but we can all be in the same room and all change in the same room. No, there are people that are uncomfortable with that, and that is why it's a problem. During the Q&A on the Warner Bros. Burbank studio, a lot after she announced, Bloyd was also asked about Rowling's reputation could impact the show. No, I don't think this is a forum, Bloyd responded, per IndieWire. That's a very online conversation, very nuanced and complicated, and not something we are going to get into. And that is the perfect way to shut down this type of talk in the media. Don't give them the time of day. Don't do it, and just say, listen, this isn't for us to discuss. We're making the show. We want to put out a show first. We want to produce something that's going to be good. We want to make money off this, and we want something to be celebrated in the long run. Sitting there and taking the actor, or not the actor, the writer's ideas, and saying that what she says online is going to be what impacts the show. No, it's not. I believe Hogwarts Legacy, the video game, did very well. I have my problems with the game, but none of my problems are political in nature, and this political nonsense needs to cut out. This is why I talk with pop culture. This is why I talk about this stuff, is because this is crap that doesn't belong in the topic at this point. Everyone wants a decent quality show. Everyone wants a decently quality game, something that's going to entertain us for hours on end, and we get to forget about the real world. And that is why, and that is what's important here. And kudos to them for sticking up to this idea, for staying there, for getting on the right path here and saying, I don't care what you're going to say online. We're going to make the show the best we do, and the show is going to speak for itself. And I think that's where we need to look at all of this nowadays. Ultimately, I've spoken to length on the JK Rowling situation, and I welcome a new show at this case, although I don't really like reboots in this case, because they generally, once they're made, they should be stuck to the core material, and a retelling of the same story sometimes falls apart. Now, when it came down to like Lord of the Rings, the original 3 movies, the Peter Jacksons, were great, but then we had Amazon come out with a retelling of the history of Lord of the Rings, and it completely fall flat. These are the things that people, and generally the audiences, are not wanting in general. The original movies were great. I think the Fantastical Beasts series is okay. I don't think there's anything really too crazy with that, other than what happened with Johnny Depp being ousted because of the whole trial he went through. But besides that, I think the Fantastical Beasts series was okay. Ultimately, it gave us some more background to it, but it didn't fall flat like the Rings of Power did, where they had to introduce new ideologies into the show and things that people are just not interested to watch. It doesn't entertain. It puts a political propaganda in front of your face, and you don't want them. People don't want this. They want a show that's going to entertain them and let them forget about what's going on in the real world around them. Once we can maybe get past all of this stuff that we're seeing nowadays, and maybe get back to the actual storytelling of shows, it might go back and we might see things right themselves, and hopefully be entertained for years to come. Anyway, I'm your proud Canadian Phoenix, Cindershadow. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.